on to Grandison Shines. He wears many different hats. This one is just one of them. So, well, actually, stretching, it has kind of transpired into stretching, but mainly he does Kung Fu. He's been teaching Kung Fu for what, 15 years?
30.
30 years. He's actually 80, he doesn't look it. He stays out of the sun. So I will turn it over to Grandison to show us some stretching. And why stretching? What? Why stretching is good for us. And why stretching?
So wearing a different hat tonight. So starting off with a question. You like to feel good, right? Show of hands. Who likes to feel good? Okay, good. Good. Natasha talked about sex, getting to, the whole endorphins, Diane talking about passive income that makes us feel good as well. Lucy, the energy that makes us feel good. New home that also makes us feel good. I'm going to talk about body. Making you feel good in the body. So here's what you do. Stand up for me, quick. Stand up. All right. Spread your feet out a little bit. Toss your legs.
I'm wearing a skirt. I can't do any one of those.
Put your hands on your hip. Make your back one step. No, put your hands on your hip here. And just kind of rotate around here, okay? So you have these joints, these really big ball joints here, these hip joints. So you hear some little popping and crackling and all that kind of stuff, right? That's because you need to work it out. You need to stretch it out. All right, let's go opposite way. Let's go 3 rotations opposite way. Go the opposite way. Yeah, Natasha be showing people in the All right, good. Sit down. All right, so that exercise there. Yes. Besides opening up your wealth pod, it's also going to open up your hip pod. So these old bones don't work like they used to, right? As we get older, we get a little more stiff. The muscles start to get more tighter and contract. I've been in martial arts for 30 years. 30 years. And I love it. I mean, I have non-stop 30 years been teaching martial arts. In fact, all the coaching that we do through Saguri, so I'm a confidence transformation coach, but I also teach martial arts. In fact, everything that I teach in Saguri with the confidence transformation stems from martial arts. So my teacher, my Sifu, S-I-F-U, he taught us a lot about energy, one. In martial arts, it's all about breathing. Breathing is so important. A lot of people don't understand how to breathe. We do it involuntarily, but we don't do it purposefully in order to open up and have energy flow through us. And so through martial arts, we learn how to do that. That's one thing. 2, the stretching piece. So I seen this when I was very vividly, I was about 11 to 12 years old. I seen this old guy. I mean, he was ancient, right? This Asian guy. He was walking so erect. He's walking like, I'm like, this guy walks more spry than I do, right? Found out he was in martial arts. And then I started taking martial arts. I was fishing that tricked my mom into asking my dad. She kept saying, no, you're going to get hurt. I'm like, Mom, come on, no, you're going to get hurt. You're too actually prone. Okay, so I broke one wrist when I was 5. Okay, then I broke another when I was 8. Okay, fine, right? I broke some toes and stuff. I'm not accident prone, I just broke a few bones. It's not accident prone, right? So 15 comes along, I say, Mom, guess what? I have to learn martial arts. It was on the board for driver's ed, safety ed. I have to take martial arts. I have all these other subjects on the board, but she didn't know that. I'm like, hey, I have to take martial arts. So I got into martial arts. Got my confidence up. I wasn't the guy that you see right now. Got my confidence up, got some successes, got some wins, went to some tournaments, kicked some butt. Got my butt kicked one time. But then I was like, nope. Coming back. So I came back real strong. Trophy. Confidence, sword, right? You get your confidence, the successes, they go hand in glove, right? But then I found out that a lot of my friends and their parents, some of them have their parents. I'm a very observant guy, so I look a lot. I'm not saying And so we were young, and we're running around and everything else. We were young, spry. But the parents, our parents, they were just, kind of reserved, but they weren't like, really, they weren't, hey, let's go to the park. Some of the parents came out, they would throw the ball with us, but some of the others, they would never do that. I'm thinking, okay, when I have kids, I am going to be running, jumping, swimming, diving, flipping, everything else with my kids. I made a promise to myself. So, when I got married, 5 kids later, right? I negotiated, I lost that deal, right? She wanted 6, I was like, oh, he's crazy, I want 6. I want 2. Negotiated 3, got 5. Okay. I'm a bad negotiator. But, so I'm like, okay, I want to run and jump with the kids. My girl's now, hey, old man, I'm like, but you know what? I can catch you. You can't catch me. And we run out there, we go to the park, we run, we play. And that's really important for me because I want to be able to play with the kids. I think they're very important. They're here, I love them. And so I found a nice little secret that has perpetuated a lot of health in my body. And one of them I'm going to tell you about today, that's stretching. Stretching has a lot of benefits. And it's so easy to do, but we don't do it. It's so easy to do. It's very, very, very easy to do. I'm going to show you some things that we're going to talk about. So, I talked about me being a confidence transformation coach. At night, I'm a ninja. I'm flying around, jumping on roofs and stuff like that. Right? My mouth speaks differently from my voice when it comes out. I go through my voice. Right? You know how it is. That's me. But I love this stuff. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It keeps me youthful. Keeps me spry, keeps my brain spry. Also because it's all about the energy and the releasing all the bad toxins that come through breathing. Because we'll talk about that a little more. So what I didn't know about today that we're going to talk about, this is my 8 modality of wellness teachers in my martial arts class. One of my students get this, and we talk about everything else. We talk about the confidence of the confidence piece as well. So they learn confidence. Didn't know we were going to talk about sexual wellness, but all of this right here we talked about today. We talked about sexual wellness, talked about financial wellness, talked about spiritual wellness, social wellness. We're here socializing with one another right now. You're increasing your intellect by getting information. There's emotional wellness, mental wellness. And we're going to talk about the physical wellness today. Okay. This modality here is how I just live my life. Right? Pay attention to every single one of these. So I'm going to talk to you about 5 of the top benefits. I feel the top benefits of stretching. There's a lot of benefits of stretching. I'll talk about the first 5, or the top 5 that you can do. And I'm going to show you some exercises here. Also, from the chair, because a lot of us, we work. I know I sit down a lot at my computer a lot. And there are times when I just need to stretch out because I've been sitting so long. In fact, one of my friends said that it takes his dad to the hospital because, not what he had, but he was driving for so long, he didn't stop and stretch and got a heart attack. Yes, blood clot, right? It's like, no, because that can really happen. It does happen. So, we're going to talk about benefit number 1. First of all, increase your flexibility. As we get older, our muscles get tighter. Our muscles shrink. Our muscles, these old bones and everything else, the joints and everything else start to crack and everything else. So as we start talking about flexibility, I want to show you some of the exercises that I do at home. I turn the chair this way, and we turn the chair the other way around, also in case you have complications with skirt, you don't want to sit this way, such at work, right? Sexual harassment suits, right? So, increasing flexibility. So one thing you can do, let's talk about the legs first. I don't know if everyone can see me, but the legs are important because if you've noticed, you walk around most of the time during the day, and making sure that your legs are flexible, pliable, is going to be so apropos as you get older. How old are you doing, lady? I'm sorry, what's your name? You're 26? Okay. Yeah, she's about that age. Get while they're young, right? No, but as you get older, your muscles and your joints start to hurt a little bit more, get a little tighter, get a little stiffer. And so it's our job to lubricate them appropriately. So good blocks of water, 1. So I'm going to show you an exercise that you can utilize to stretch your hamstring just by sitting on this chair here. Okay, you can do this forward too, but having one leg straight, one leg bent. Okay, and use this as a brace, as a harness to brace and to pull, to push over and to pull back. Okay, so you can lean over enough to where you want your leg to be as straight as possible. So don't have it bent. The whole objective is to make sure you stretch the hamstring, the back of that. Okay, I'll show you something that you can do standing up. So one side there. Now 10 seconds. I don't know if you have to say 10 seconds. How many? Count to 10. Everybody count to 10 here? We good? All right, cool. Hold it for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. That's all. 10 second stretch. 10 minutes a day, 10 seconds will add years to your life and your feeling of your body. Years. I'm 45 years old. I'm probably the most flexible 45-year-old guy that you know to date. Not to brag, because I make sure that I kept it. Right? Yeah, it's been to class, right? And but I also teach a stretching class. All we do is stretch. Okay, so other side, same thing. Sit in the chair. Make sure you lean over, right? Raise yourself and over. Go the other way. So when you hear the chair this way, same thing. Sit at the edge of the chair. Now, you don't want. The reason why I turned it around is because if you don't feel balanced, turn it around. Feel balanced. Don't want to try this in a rolling chair that has wheels. Okay, put that out there. The chair might move back. Unless it's against the wall. You can't put it against the wall. But other than that, if you're in the office, next to you on the floor, you're rolling around. Oh, bad. So, leg out in front. You can also, so you can put it in front, you can also put it to the side. It depends on how inner you want to stretch or how you want to stretch. Okay? But make sure you're stretching that. Just go forward. Do this while you're at work. Okay? Objective is to put your chin down all the way down to your knee. And when you get there, cool. You have to get there one day. It won't hurt if you try to. I promise that. So another thing you can do, okay, standing up, if you're in your office, is just, you can do this if you have a shirt on. You can also just reach down towards touching your toes. You don't have to reach and touch. So a lot of times people say, okay, what about touching your toes? When my jacket's kind of constricting right now, hard to do the blazer. What you can do is grab the back of your knees or your calf muscles and pull towards. Okay, pull towards. That will help out a lot. That's going to add, again, a nice little stride in your pep in your step. That's going to be very, very helpful. Okay? So you have joints, right? Joints. You have the muscles. You have the ligaments and the tendons. Now, the muscles are connected to the bones via the ligaments and tendons, and that's important to stretch those out as well. So, one knee exercise you can do. Okay, so if you look at your body, you have about 75% of your weight above your knees. So it's really important to make sure your knees, keep a lot of water, make sure your knees are lubricated. Okay? So, making sure this is the exercise we do every single time. Every single time as a warm-up exercise. We do the hip rotations and we do the knee rotations. This is so simple. And I hear some popping already. I hear some snapping, right? I do 30 rotations on each side, each direction. I'll do 30 this way, I'll do 30 this way. I'll do the same thing on the hip. 30 this way, 30 this way. You can work your way up to it, okay? Say 10.
10.
Say 10. Just do 10 first. 10, that's all it takes. Just do 10 each way. 10, 10. You're going to add so much to your life. The feeling of your body is going to feel so much better. So making sure, one, increase your flexibility. Number two, talk about ligaments and tendons. Now, it's important to strengthen the ligaments and tendons as well. A lot of times we lift weights. How many lift weights? Okay, good. You are focusing more on the muscle. So this is how you build lean muscle to get the ligaments and tendons stronger when you stretch. Because when you stretch, let's say for instance you're stretching, and if we do this, what we call a heel stand stretch. My knee right now is tight. The muscles here, the quadricep muscles are tight, and I feel the ligaments and tendons around my knee tight. Okay? Holding it. How many seconds? 10 seconds will add a lot of mobility and life back to the ligaments and tendons. And that's important as we get older, because it gets harder as we squat down. It gets harder to do what? Get back up, right? And it's usually because of the knees are weaker than they should be. Okay? So squatting down, right? Or making sure you do the hip rotation, the knee rotations. That will also get the ankles as well. Okay? We're talking about physical wellness, you want to be well all the way around. So when you do the knee rotations, it's going to also loosen the ligaments and tendons. And when you stretch, one knee bent, one knee straight. If I'm stretching here, I'm bent like this, right? If I have my leg up here, it's not that straight. I'm bending. I'll do the other one too as well. So see this side. I'm bending. Okay? Not straight, but I'm bending. That's going to add, again, more strength to the quadriceps muscles, but you're also going to focus a lot on the ligaments and tendons. Okay? Next point. Let's talk about restoring youth. This is important. This is a biggie. This is a biggie. So it's all about maintenance. Everything we do is all about maintenance. From maintaining relationships to maintaining wellness of the body, maintaining mental wellness, physical wellness, financial wellness, everything else. Energetic wellness. I really like, I'm sure we could talk for ages on energy because we talk about the 5 levels of thinking, and one of the levels of thinking is thinking on an energetic level. Okay, so when we talk about adding youth to your body, you're going to have this newfound energy that you have not had probably in a very, very long time. One thing that's important to do that loses stress also to make sure that you breathe. Purposely breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. So when we're stretching, when you're counting, you're going to make sure you breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you're holding your leg up here, you're pulling your leg in through the nose, out through the mouth. Make sure you're breathing. Always, 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 always breathing. A lot of times we like to hold our breath, especially with something strenuous, but you should be breathing. You're pushing out. It's more like internal, coming in, towards the body, internal, breathe in, out. Stretching is the exact same way. Increases the blood flow, get more oxygen to the muscles where it needs to go, where you can start building. You start building and maintaining. Okay, that's important. But this whole energy thing, really feeling youthful. I say if you stretch consistently 10 minutes a day, maybe not even every day. I say 5 days, 4 to 5 days a week. After 6 months, you're going to feel about 5 years younger. Seriously. Seriously. But this is one of these secrets that people just don't share much. Now, yoga is different from yoga. I'll explain that in a little bit, but a little bit different from yoga. A little bit different. Okay? Still back to the same thing, but we're not naming the poses and things like that, but there's a lot of different stretches that's going to really add to your body. That's so important. Increase the blood flow to the muscles, right? This is important, making sure you have the blood flow to the muscles and also to the brain. The brain needs a lot of oxygen. The blood carries it to the brain. And then finally, improve your posture. I look at posture a lot. I just can't help it now. We've been taught it for so long. It's like, we're in a class and people come back and he's swiping his hand up our back if we were kind of south shoulder, right? And if most people stand like this, if we look at them from the side, they stand like shoulders forward and kind of the head kind of like this. So a lot of people stand like that, right? Can you see there? It's like this. And this is just sunken in chest. That's not alignment. That's not aligned at all. Of your vertebrae and your back, it's not aligned with the muscles, it's not alignment at all. When we punch, when we teach how to punch, we're also talking about alignment. So if you connect to something that's very hard, if you're punching like a wall or even something, brick, whatever, there's certain alignment that will not have your bones shattered. Okay, so yes, exactly. That's true. And so alignment is important. So making sure your posture is straight. You always stand with your chest out. Ladies, guys, doesn't matter. Okay, shoulders back, and head not like this. They call that technique now. You know, there's a term for that, technique, because the kids are always like this, right? So they call it technique. Like technique, yeah. Technique and all the technology you're looking at, right? So we don't want to get technique. We're a little chill for that, I hope. But making sure you stand in alignment, make sure you stand straight. Make sure you stand perfectly straight. Okay? All right, good. So one more exercise, stand up right quick. Exercise, the posture thing. So chest out, shoulders back, okay? And in yoga, they call it what, the mountain pose, right? So if you stand against the wall, you should be straight like such. For those of you who have a little bit more back end, it may be a little tougher to do that, right? But standing straight. So this is how you should stand. Should be like this, should right straight, okay? So make sure shoulders back. And so when you walk, it's the same way. You walk like this. Okay, good. Have a seat. Any questions for me? Why do they crack?
Yeah,
Well,
I've not heard these cracks since, seriously, 20 I'm like, my millennial girl. I don't know what you're talking about.
Research shows that it's air and calcium deposits that are just kind of popping. And so you work it out, but the air is like cracking, do that thing.
Yes.
But as you get older, it becomes more prevalent. Yeah. Yes?
Any exercise to help stretch like the outside of the hip bone?
The outside of the hip bone. So if you're talking about this hip bone that's right here, the one with the joint, this one here. Yeah, so, let me, I'll show you this one. So we do this one in our class as well. And this one works, there's two. One is to push it out like this, push this hip bone out like this, push it out. But the other thing is to make sure you pull over, you can grab one wrist and pull over, doing the same thing. That will stretch you all right here and including that. Does that answer your question? Okay. You have questions? Yes.
Stretches at night, are there different ones you should do at night versus morning?
Good question. Very good question. No, there isn't. However, at night, what you want to do is try to be as low as you can with stretches. So one stretch that you could do morning and night, and this is a kind of good universal stretch, is to make sure that your heels are flat and squat down as low as you can go. Squat down as low as you can go until you can't go anymore. Until gravity is just like, you're just sitting there. And then when you also want to just take your elbows and push your knees out as wide as you can. Okay? Those little hip openers help out a whole lot. Now, if you're not used to getting up, not exactly, I know. So lean forward and push with your hands and get up that way. Okay, but if you're advanced, just come on up and push up, right? Did that answer your question? Okay, good. Any other questions? Yes.
I know that the stretching obviously is good for the, for the muscles and the other things that hold your muscles together and all that on your bones and all that.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend for the bones?
What I recommend for the bones, the actual bones, to get the bones stronger?
Yes. So,
as we get older, arthritis and osteoporosis starts to settle in, and that's where you want to start getting some supplements. There's usually a nutrient deficiency that transpires, and you can talk to me about that offline because we do have some nutrients and things that, some supplements that we supply for that as well. But that is important. Yes. Osteoporosis, CoQ10, those sorts of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Answer your question?
Vitamin K2. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Eating calcium, milk's pretty good.
Well, I know K2 keeps the calcium out of the blood and into the bones.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yes.
So how does it work when, I guess, burning calories and building muscle mass?
Even more so, a reason to stretch. Lack of access in the muscles when you feel tight. So a lot of times you should stretch or at least warm up before you work out, and then you should also stretch pretty good after you work out as well.
So does it add to like the calorie burn?
Oh yeah. Yeah, when you stretch really good, we stretch pretty hard in our class. Sometimes we're sweating, we'll beat the sweat come down. Right? But that's because it's a muscle tension and everything else, and you start to heat up, you'll feel your body heat up just like you work out.
Angela took the stretch class. We burned about 280 to 300 calories in just the stretch class.
45 minutes.
Yeah. And it's online as well, right?
Yeah. Is there a question on there?
Yeah, what about the lower back? You know, sometimes when we straight, on our feet all the time, straight, and then suddenly you just feel like it's so tight.
Yeah.
Which stretch you use to, I normally go to the table and kind of crunch,
Yep.
but it still doesn't help enough. It's like I'm
Sure.
gonna do like this.
Laura, I started taking these stretch classes because of my back pain. And it's helped tremendously. And I started taking Kung Fu a year ago from him. And of course, I don't recommend you take Kung Fu if you don't want to. But stretches, it's really helped my lower back tremendously. It's going to show.
So one way to help with the stretching of the back is if you can grab onto something that has a lip, something that you can grab onto, something that's stable, that's on that back. What you can do is make sure. So usually when you stretch, and I didn't talk about this part because we didn't go into stretching, 7 minutes. But you want to bend from the lower back. So when you bend, you want to go like this. You don't want to curl the back. On this one, you do want to curl the back. You do want to stretch the back to curl it, but you want to grab onto something and curl it there. But you also want to make sure your posture is back in place. You want to come back and be erect again. There's another exercise you can do by laying on the ground and bringing your feet over your head that way. That also stretches a lot. It's a bit more advanced, medium to advanced stretch, but it helps out a lot. But start off with grabbing something that has a lip, and you can lean back, like if you're stretching and I'm leaning back like this and curling that back. That helps out a lot. Answer your question? All right, cool. Yes.
So you said it's different than yoga. Can you explain to me?
Yeah. So yoga focuses on, yes, the energy as well. When we stretch, the way we stretch, we focus on not only the energy, we also focus on the making sure the pliability and the feeling of the body and the muscles. Okay. So yoga has this focus and concentration on the pose and everything else with it, when it's building muscle. We focus mainly on the stretch. So forget about the pose. There's a right way to do the stretch, meaning that your posture is straight, but we're not focusing on the pose or the names of the poses or focusing on things that are, the balance is important too. So that there's a lot of similarities, but it's totally different in terms of mindset. We're only focusing on making the muscles have more elasticity. And that's that's the focus and concentration.
And so, I have one more question. When you did the ankles, like rotating them, do you have any other tips for ankles? Because I totally ripped all the tendons and ligaments in my ankles.
Yes. And there are some that you can, there's some you can do with take your shoe off. There's some that you can really go here and really force that. Pop out. I think, but that's one. Another one you can do is go here and go like this on the ball of your foot and rotate the ankle. Just keep it on the ball. Don't go to the heel. Just keep it on the ball. When we do the knee rotation, you're kind of adjusting your weights to the ball, heel this, and then all ball, and just flexing and rotating there. Another thing, if you get strong enough, is you can walk on the blade of your feet. So that helps out a lot. So if you walk on the blade, you do this in Kung Fu as well. You walk on the blade of your feet. That goes. You're welcome.
I'm trying to wear heels again.
Trying
It's a long recovery process.
Rotate, but forcibly rotate your ankle by grabbing your foot and like you cranking something. Get real strong. Cool. So one last thing she mentioned, it was online. Yes, it's online. So if you're interested, talk to me about it. But this is actually before and after picture. This guy here, he was so tight when we first started. So Kevin and Tracy, now he's like, and you see his back stretch is really, really, really good. So we do some partner stretching as well. So we have partner stretching, pretty intense. And then finally here, if you want to, there's a class that we have online videos. There's about, I don't know, at least 40 some videos that are already there populated. And if you want to go online, it's like $10 a month. I'll show you all the stretches I also and content. Cool. Thank you very much.